Once upon a time, there were two children who lived in neighboring houses. They were best friends, and every night before they went to bed, they would look up at the stars and talk to each other through their bedroom windows. One night, while gazing at the stars, they noticed that the twinkling lights seemed to form a magical path right outside Lily's window. It shimmered and sparkled, inviting them to follow its path into the inky blackness of the night. Filled with wonder and a sense of adventure, both children decided to follow this celestial trail. As they stepped outside, hand in hand, they found themselves in a place that looked like a real-life version of the night sky. There were star-shaped bushes and trees that had sparkly silver leaves. The ground glittered with tiny stars that twinkled just like the ones above. In the distance, they saw a house made of pure moonlight, and it beckoned to them with an enchanting glow. They walked towards the house, and as they got closer, they could hear the faint sound of music. The melody was sweet and enchanting, like the tinkling of bells. Curiosity piqued, they followed the sound until they reached a beautiful garden filled with all kinds of magical plants. There were flowers that bloomed in every color of the rainbow, and some even glowed with an otherworldly light. The air was filled with the scent of 1,000 different perfumes, each more enchanting than the last. Suddenly, from behind a bush, a little firefly zipped past them. It flew in a circle around their heads and then landed on a nearby leaf. To their surprise, it started to speak. "Welcome to the Dream Garden," it said. "I am Flicker, your guide for tonight's adventure. Are you ready to enter the dreams of sleeping children?" Lily and Max looked at each other, their eyes wide with wonder. They had so many questions. But before they could ask any, Flicker led them to a small path that wound its way through the garden. At the end of the path, they saw a clearing, and in the center stood a large tree. Its branches were heavy with shimmering golden apples. Underneath the tree was a table set with a feast fit for royalty. There were mountains of candy, rivers of chocolate and fountains that flowed with strawberry milk. Before Lily and Max could even take a step towards the table, the ground beneath them began to shake. From behind the tree, a giant gingerbread man emerged. He was covered with icing, and his eyes were made of chocolate chips. He took a step towards them, and then another. Each footfall shook the ground and made the apples on the tree tremble. But despite his size, he had a gentle smile on his face. "Hello, children," he boomed in a friendly voice. "I am the guardian of this garden, and you must be here for the special treat." He gestured to the table with a flourish of his candy cane sword. After thanking the gingerbread man, they sat down to enjoy their feast. The candy tasted like rainbows, and the chocolate fountain flowed like honey. As they ate, they chatted with the gingerbread man, who told them all sorts of stories about the magical things that happened in the dream garden. Suddenly, Flicker the firefly zipped over and landed on the table. "Time for your special treat," he said excitedly. He led them to the tree laden with golden apples. "Pick one," he said, "and make a wish. The apple will grant you a special gift." Lily thought for a moment. She wanted something beautiful, something that would help her explore the dreams of sleeping children. She closed her eyes and wished for a magic carpet that could fly through the night sky, and as she opened her eyes, poof, a beautiful red carpet appeared underneath them. Next, it was Max's turn. He thought long and hard about what he wanted. He wanted something fun, something that would make exploring the dreams of sleeping children even more exciting. He closed his eyes and wished for a magnifying glass that could see all the wonderful things that happened in the dream world. And as he opened his eyes, poof, a huge magnifying glass appeared in his hands. With their new toys in hand, Lily and Max were ready to begin their adventure. They stepped onto the magic carpet, and with Flicker guiding the way, they soared through the night sky. Below them, the world was bathed in the soft glow of moonlight. They passed over sleeping villages, sparkling rivers, and forests filled with magical creatures. They flew for what felt like hours, the wind whipping through their hair, until finally they spotted a house with a bright light coming from one of the windows. "That's our first stop," said Flicker. "There is a child in that house who needs our help." Before they knew it, they were floating above a sleeping child's room. Lily and Max gasped in amazement. The room was filled with all kinds of fantastic creatures, from fluffy pink unicorns to playful blue dragons. There were talking trees, mischievous fairies, and even a friendly gingerbread man, just like the one they had met in the dream garden. As they watched, a little girl in a nightgown stirred in her sleep. Her face was scrunched up in a frown, and her breathing became shallow. "She's having a nightmare," whispered Flicker. "We have to do something." Without wasting a moment, they landed the carpet softly on the windowsill and crept inside. The room was dark, but Lily's magic carpet glowed with a soft light, allowing them to see everything clearly. The little girl was lying in her bed, fast asleep, and her dreams were taking her on a wild ride. They saw a giant spider with glowing red eyes crawling towards her. Then a dark cloud with a scary face loomed over her, blocking out the sun. Finally, a big bad wolf with sharp teeth and claws appeared at the foot of her bed. "Oh no," said Max. "She needs our help." With that, he raised his magnifying glass and focused its beam on the wolf, making it shrink until it was no bigger than a mouse. Then Lily used her magic carpet to sweep the spider and the dark cloud away. As soon as the nightmare creatures were gone, the little girl's breathing became steady again, and a smile appeared on her face. She was fast asleep once more, this time in a world filled with fluffy bunnies, colorful birds, and a friendly little gingerbread man. "We did it," whispered Lily, feeling proud of themselves. "We helped her have a sweet dream." But their work was not done yet. They still had many more dreams to visit. So with a wave of her magic carpet and a flash of his magnifying glass, Lily and Max were off to their next adventure, soaring through the night sky, bringing joy and wonder to every sleeping child they met along the way. And that, dear listener, is the story of how Lily and Max turned nightmares into sweet dreams. If you enjoyed this whimsical tale, don't forget to stay tuned for more magical adventures. Until next time, sweet dreams.